From the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia, this is Danbury Hat-Tricks Hockey, and it's live right here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Hello again, Hat-Tricks fans. Doug Latuca with you for Game 2 of the weekend set between the Hat-Tricks and Bobcats, the first 2 games ever between these two franchises. Blue Ridge in their inaugural season, and it has been a bit of a struggle for them. Started this season with just 2 wins in the first 11 games. And they are on the outside looking in at the playoffs. They've dropped 5 in a row and 8 of the last 9 games. Sitting 16 points behind Mississippi for 4th place, the final playoff spot in the Continental. As for the Hat-Tricks, they are red hot, 3-0 during this current road trip, which finishes up tonight. They're just 5 points behind Motor City for the 2nd playoff spot in the Empire Division, which would mean home ice advantage in round 1 of the playoffs. And the Rockers facing off with the River Dragons 3 times this weekend. They lost last night, and 2 more games tonight and tomorrow in Columbus, Georgia. Hat-Tricks, of course, swept the 3-game weekend last weekend. They've won 4 games in a row and have wins in 11 of the past 14 games. Last night was not the prettiest of wins for the Hat-Tricks, but they will certainly take it. A 2-1 final in overtime. They scored the final 2 goals of the game. They went about 55 minutes without scoring, a little more than 55 minutes without scoring a goal until Johnny Ruiz on the power play at 15:57 cracked the code. Corey Cunningham and Billy Berry with the assists. And then just 35 seconds into overtime, Hat-Tricks granted a power play due to a holding call. They didn't waste much time. Just about 12, 13 seconds after they went on the 4-on-3 power play in overtime, Josh LaBelle with a slapper from straight away at the blue line. McKittrick and Ruiz with the assists, and the Hat-Tricks picking up their 4th straight victory in a tightly contested game. Shots finished 36-28. Spoke with head coach Billy McCreary throughout the day, and he mentioned that it wasn't really Hat-Tricks hockey yesterday. They did not play or get off to the start that they were hoping for. And as we mentioned last night, Hat-Tricks traveled 12 hours from Danbury to Wytheville, a couple stops along the way, got in around midnight on Friday morning. Slept for about 8 hours or so, then morning skate at 11. And then the puck drop at 7:30. Hat-Tricks a little lethargic. Not much offensively happening for Danbury. And kudos to the Bobcats, who bared down and limited any, if not all, of the Hat-Tricks opportunities. Owen Liskowitz faced 28 shots, made 26 saves, and most of them were from the outside. So he was not tested from in tight too much, but the Hat-Tricks did break through late in the 3rd period and early in overtime to pick up 2 of a possible 3 points and move within 5 of Motor City for the 2nd spot in the Empire Division. Now, there was a bit of controversy following the overtime winner. The Bobcats were asking for the play to be reviewed for goaltender interference. That led to about a 5 to 10 minute delay where the officials were near the scorer's area. The problem was there were technical difficulties here inside the Apex Center. The cameras above the goal, which are the only cameras allowed to be used for a review, were not working due to the weather outside. Pouring rain caused some technical difficulties with the cameras overhead. As a result, they could not review the play, even if there was goaltender interference, and therefore the Hat-Tricks were granted a 2-1 overtime victory. Josh LaBelle with yet another goal, his 3rd game-winning goal this season, his 4th on the power play. now has points in 12 of the last 15 games, 22 points during that span, 8 of them goals. He has just 9 goals with the hat tricks this season. So the last 15 games, the 6'6" D-man has been on a heater for the hat tricks from the back end. As for Johnny Ruiz, who had a goal and an assist, one of them, the goal coming on the power play. He has points in 6 consecutive games and in 15 of the last 16. 3 goals in the last 3 for the hat tricks captain, who continues to be the motor for this hat tricks offense. Also want to mention and bring up the technical mishaps we had last night. We believe we have resolved the issue. We're going with a different mode of video transportation tonight. And so far, so good. You never want to jinx the good luck we're having about 5 minutes into this broadcast. But knock on wood that we will be clean the rest of the way. Bobcats in the white uniforms tonight. It is Autism Appreciation Night here in Blue Ridge. Hat tricks in the orange unis, black pants, orange socks, identical to last night's uniform set.
Cunningham. At forward number 18, Nick DiNicola. In goal,
after the goal was reviewed last night and went the hat trick's way, Wojtek Zemlika, the Bobcats head coach, stormed from the bench over to near the scorer's area.
The hat tricks are coached by
and as a result, with his actions following the end of the game, was therefore fined an undisclosed amount earlier on today. But he is on the bench for Blue Ridge. So is head coach Billy McCreary for the hat tricks. Here's the anthem. The national anthem is in the books, and we are just about ready for hockey on a Saturday night from inside the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia. The Hat Tricks winning the inaugural matchup between the two teams last night, 2-1 in overtime. Josh LaBelle, the hero, 35 seconds in on a slap shot from the point on the power play, salvaged what could have been a 0-point night for the Hat Tricks, who rallied with 4 minutes remaining in the third period to scratch a goal across the board, force overtime, and then ultimately win it in the extra frame to secure 2 points and move within 5 of Motor City for home ice in round 1 of the playoffs. Bobcats starting with Justin Daly, Joel Frazee, and Carson Andreoli up front. Jackson Bodon and Stephen Ford on defense. As for the hat tricks, it's the third line of Michael Falanga, Corey Cunningham, and Nick DiNicola, with Josh LaBelle and Charlie Bedard on defense. The goaltenders are Owen Liskowitz for the second straight night for the Bobcats, and Connor McCullum for the hat tricks. Back in goal, had the night off yesterday. This McCullum's 12th start in the last 17 games. He and Taylor Joseph have been alternating since Joseph was acquired from Columbus at the trade deadline. Nick DiNicola gathers at center. Pass for LaBelle was picked off. Frazee steps inside the line. Centering pass goes to the far side corner. Bedard and Cunningham digging for it. It's available behind the goal. Picked free by Frazee and swatted backwards, where LaBelle navigates in his zone, angles it off the boards all the way down. And chasing after it is Jackson Bodon, wearing number 77 tonight. Typically wears 47, but the Bobcats in their autism appreciation jerseys tonight with the black pants and the yellow socks. Hat tricks with the orange tops, black bottoms, orange jerseys and socks. Still some smoke on the ice from the pregame spectacle and introduction of the players. Dustin Henning looking for number 81, Colby Johnson, signed by the hat tricks today. Flew in last night and was picked up in Roanoke. The 6'3", 212-pound, 25-year-old had a cup of coffee with the Macon Mayhem in the SPHL. 3 seasons at Trinity Western University in the U Sports. 45 games, 118 points for Johnson, up on the top line with Ruiz and McKittrick. Meanwhile, a 2-on-1 for the hat tricks. A pass across, and the shot stopped by Liskowitz, who held on. A cross-slot feed from Berry to Ratcliffe. Still smoky here inside the Apex Center. Some fire spewed out while the Bobcats were being introduced. It should clear up. It did last night. We're hoping for the same result over the next couple of minutes. Galloping through center is Zach Tattern. He beats Gonzalez to the puck. Slipped around for Tetro, who pitchforks it out to center ice. Igor Delcart, D-to-D, intercepted at center by Berry. His pass intended for Cunningham, out of his reach. He played 2.5 in game 2 of the weekend set. No score, and no shots for either side. LaBelle at the game-winning goal in overtime last night. DiNicola finds Cunningham, who curls, looking for LaBelle, tipped out to center, and DiNicola chases after it. Charlie Bedard. Return to the hat tricks back on March 15th. Was on loan in Fayetteville. Now paired on defense with LaBelle. Centering pass into the skates of Cunningham. Pops in the air. Glove down and sped through center, where it's lofted in. Little more than 3 minutes erased. First period and no score. Outlet pass, McKittrick had his stick lifted. Sprints after it. Was beat to the puck by Ernest. Now a charge to the goal and a save by McCullum with the chest. First shot, tough stop for Connor McCullum, who's making his 36th start for the hat tricks tonight. Last played on Sunday in Watertown. Made 36 saves on 38 shots. That's a .947 save percentage. He has faced 31-plus shots in 6 straight games. The Bobcats last night only mounting 28 shots on Joseph, who was spectacular, 27 for 28 in his second start as a hat trick. Here's Nikita Ivashkin, centering pass. Shot went wide. Ivashkin is out there with Danny Martin and Vladislav Vlasov. Vlasov had Blue Ridge's lone goal yesterday. And if you don't count Ivashkin's total goals with Binghamton this season, then Vlasov paces the group in goals and points, while Martin is tied with Vlasov for the most assists on the team with 17. Berry streaks up the left side, fending off a check, look to the back, and charges in. Pamelayan at the left point, looking for a lane, shoots wide of Liskowitz. It rims around. Tetro at the right point, sends it right back along the kick plate to the near side. Swept out to center, and Pamelayan pounds it in deep. Skate to stick retrieval. Tattern had trouble with it. Juwan Davis, number 20 for the Hat-Tricks, did not play last night on the ice. Here with Cunningham and Falanga. Davis last played on February 25th against Binghamton. Has 1 assist on the season. It came on February 18th. Shot from the right wing, whizzes wide, out to center, and a stand-up check from Tetro on Andrioli. They both spill to the ice, and they're both back to their skates. With 6 minutes gone, opening frame, Hat-Tricks and Bobcats, second time ever these teams are meeting. Hat-Tricks picking up 2 of a possible 3 points in the overtime win. They have victories in 4 straight. And in 11 of the past 14 games, Bobcats have struggled. They've lost 5 in a row and 8 of the last 9. But Blue Ridge put together quite an effort last night. Really thwarted all of the Hat-Tricks offense until this man, Johnny Ruiz, got Danbury on the board on the power play with about 4 minutes to go in regulation. First media timeout from the Apex Center. No score, Hat-Tricks and Bobcats on a Saturday night right here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Stop by TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury and try one of their 76 amazing wing flavors. Visit tksamericancafe.com for more information.
Danbury Parking Authority. Park in the Patriot Garage across the street from the Danbury Ice Arena. It's safe, secure, and legal. Make sure the only ticket you get is to the game.
Danbury Chiropractic and Wellness. Dr. Jared DiLorenzo is a proud member of the Danbury Hat-Tricks medical team. Stop by and see them on North Street in downtown Danbury. Feeling good is an option, and they can get you there.
Buzz-Aid Appliance Scratch and Dent Outlet is the local leader for appliances and household wares. Do you like to eat? They have a refrigerator. Do you want clean clothes? They have a washer. They got it all. It's Buzz-Aid Appliance. Coca-Cola is the official beverage of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Sweet, fizzy goodness. As refreshing as you remember.
Back in Blue Ridge, no score, Hat-Tricks and Bobcats. Game 2 of the weekend set. About 6.5 minutes gone. First period, Doug Latuca with you. Right here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. A face-off at the near circle to the right of Bobcat starter Owen Liskowitz, who's making his 3rd start against the Hat-Tricks this season. Last night allowed 2 goals in the Hat-Tricks 2-1 overtime winner on 36 shots. He was with Watertown earlier this season. Played 1 game, it was on December 9th in Danbury as McCullum fights off a deflected shot in the slot. Some extracurriculars after the whistle in the near corner. The game wasn't too chippy last night. It was the first time the sides had seen each other ever. So a real feeling out process for the Hat-Tricks. And tonight, a little more feisty. Both teams coming out with some more jump. Hat-Tricks noticeably more energetic and alive in the offensive zone. As for Liskowitz, that start on the 9th in a Watertown jersey, he made 54 saves on 57 shots, was tagged with the loss in a shootout. Hat-Tricks taking down the Wolves 4-3. And now, manning the cage for the 3rd time against the Hat-Tricks this season. He's got a goals against average around .340, save percentage a couple ticks over 90%. Puck is fluttered in, racing after it. Danny Martin. He collides with Dustin Henning, a shot from the right circle, shoulder saved by McCullum, and he corrals a juggling puck as it flopped right down into his mitt. McCullum is 22, 10, and 3. He leads the league in wins. A .312 goals against, .915 save percentage, and he's got 5 assists. That leads all goaltenders in the FBHL. Mentioned he's in a platoon situation with Joseph for the time being. This game, 51 of the season for the Hat-Tricks, including tonight, 6 remaining on the schedule. And this is the final out-of-division matchup for the Hat-Tricks this regular season. They see Binghamton 3 more times. A pass in front, Andreoli's backhander stopped by McCullum on the top of his crease. Bobcats keep it alive. Point shot blocked. Springs in the air. Blue Ridge flips it in. And DiNicola finds Tetro. Waits for the Hat-Tricks to make a change. 11:40 to go. First period, no score. Shots are 5-2. Bobcats. Ruiz chugs through center, veers to the right, settles a bouncing puck, and then turned it over to Josh Newberg. Into the offensive zone, Martin curls back at the right point, slips to the left side, slap shot, whistles wide. Alex Norwinski uncorking one from the far side. Never hit McCullum. Here's Bedard with a snapper. Snagged by the Skewits. Both teams make changes. Now we mentioned the Hat-Tricks 5 points behind Motor City for 2nd place. It's all but finalized that the Hat-Tricks will play the Rockers in round 1 of the playoffs. We just don't know where game 1 will be, and it will be in the barn of the worst seed. Motor City in Columbus for 2 games tonight and tomorrow. Already lost to the River Dragons last night. That's how the Hat-Tricks gain some ground. Ratcliffe turns and shoots. Grazed off the glove of Liskowitz. Behind the goal, Berry hauled down. Sent it to the middle. But the Bobcats work out from left to right. Dump and change. Hat-Tricks have applied most of the pressure in this first period. Zach Pamelaine at the controls. Back on defense tonight. Xavier Abdella not in the lineup. Attending a wedding. Was in for the Hat-Tricks yesterday. Hope he has a great time. A follow-up shot went just wide. That's the newbie, Colby Johnson, wearing number 81. Frazee took a spill, gave up the puck. At the red line, Ernest skies it into the zone. Andreoli centering pass. That was behind Daly. Daly's stick hit Ruiz up high. The official was standing right in front and opted to let it go. More than midway through period one. We are scoreless. 5-3 Bobcats in the shot category. Puck is ramped in. Tetro goes after it. He'll sweep it up the near side. Cunningham. Tape to tape, Falanga. Gallops right side. Falanga takes it wide to the front. The shot was fanned on. Liskowitz did not get a piece. Bobcats the other way. Ivashkin veers outside, centers. McCullum got his stick on it, and the hat-trick's called for a penalty after the whistle. And Tetro took the legs of Ivashkin right out from under him. Now Tetro laid the boom on Ivashkin in the far corner, was called for a penalty, and then grabbed both of Ivashkin's legs and he yanked them.
It's time for the Pepsi T-shirt toss.
We will sort out the penalties and have them for you when we return. Media timeout here in Wytheville. No score, hat-tricks and Bobcats.
Coltech, the founder of Plastic Chamber Technology, is headquartered locally in Brookfield. Coltech is family-owned and operated with experience in the drainage industry dating back to the 1950s. When you're talking drainage and stormwater, Coltech is the world leader. Contact them today at coltech.com.
Fairfield County Bank is the official bank of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. It's where the Hat-Tricks bank and the tellers wear the Danbury Hat-Tricks top hat. Fairfield County Bank is your hometown bank and a proud supporter of your hometown team.
For a comfortable stay with great amenities, the only choice is the La Quinta by Wyndham and Danbury. Ask for the Hat-Tricks friends and family rate. You can't beat it. La Quinta.
Texas Roadhouse, located on Newtown Road in Danbury, opened its doors locally in 2017 and is known for hand-cut steaks, cactus blossom, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made-from-scratch sides, and fresh-baked bread. The restaurant prides itself on its legendary food, legendary service, and legendary fun.
Back inside the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia. No score. Hat-tricks and Bobcats, second game of the weekend set. Sam Tetro in the penalty box for interference at 11-12 sets the Bobcats up on the game's first power play. Blue Ridge is last in the league on the man advantage, converting under 10% of the time. Hat-tricks on the kill are fourth in the league at 82%. They were 3 for 3 last night in the 2-1 OT win over these same Bobcats. So Tetro gets just the one penalty, the initial call. Nothing for yanking the legs out from under Ivashkin following the hit. So just a 5-on-4. Trailer pass deflected into the stands. It went over the netting. Now there is netting surrounding the perimeter of the ring, but it does not go all the way up to the ceiling. So that puck ramped off a stick and becomes a souvenir for a lucky fan. Hat-tricks are tied for first with 10 shorthanded goals this season. Johnny Ruiz himself has 4. Bowden Zinchenko, a scratch tonight, has 3. A minute 15 on the Bobcats power play. Vlasov up ahead. Return for Vlasov. Cross ice, corralled. Vlasov to Bowen. Back for Bowen. Fakes the shot. Walks the line. Looking for an angle. Vlasov for Bowen. Barry out on him. To the near side, Andrioli. Defended by Ratcliffe. Crisscrossing, Daly. Across. Bobcats looking for a lane. Daly shoots off the shoulder of McCullum. Bouncing puck below the goal line. To the back it goes. Kept in and swept in by Tattern. They jostle for possession along the far boards. Loose puck, spits free to the slot. To the right point. Bowen into the slot, shot stopped. Rebound off the side of the goal. Great opportunity for Vlasov. And he fanned.
Teams at full strength.
Hat-tricks kill off the Bobcats power play. Liskowitz came way out of the net to shield Cunningham of the puck. Ivashkin and Bedard in a foot race. The Hat-tricks D-man wins it. Bobcats keep it at the line. Martin to Ivashkin. Swoops around the net. The lefty on his backhand. One hands it to the point. Bouncing puck in the slot. Trickles to the corner. Bedard rims it around. Cunningham chops out to center. And DiNicola was knocked off the puck. Norwinski, cross ice feed, received off the boards. Ivashkin lost the handle. And Blue Ridge is in. Daly navigating. His shot fought off. Daly low left. Gets a drop pass. Daly charging in, bouncing puck, shot deflected wide. Bobcats applying pressure in the hat-trick zone. Puck was touched with a high stick, but the hat-tricks touch it first, therefore negating and keeping this game rolling. 5.5 on the clock, first period, no score. Bobcats doubling up the hat-tricks, 8-4 on shots. Not much offense, similar to yesterday. Centering pass, swiped away, and Davis connects with Ruiz. Return for Davis up the right wing, and the hat-tricks are offsides for a stoppage. 5:07 remaining opening period. Now a couple players tangled up at center ice. That's McHugh and Ruiz. McHugh typically number 77, wearing 24 tonight. Bobcats in their autism acceptance jerseys. They wore their St. Patrick's Day themed unis yesterday. That was green and orange. Tonight, white and orange. A little bit easier on the eyes. Blue Ridge making a change. Woolley, Berry, and Ratcliffe, the three up front, with Tetro and Gonzalez, the pair on defense. Tetro essentially taking the spot of Abdella, who is unavailable tonight. And Pamelayan, who was the third-line center yesterday, slides back on defense. Danbury still without Jared Yao and Steve Brown on the back end. Chase Harwell, Brandon Stoychevsky also are unavailable for the weekend. Bowden Zinchenko, a scratch, was in the lineup yesterday. Puck is skied in, touched a hat-trick stick, no icing. Stephen Ford, the former River Shark, leads Andrioli right up the gut. 3-on-3 into the zone, shot from the left wing, grazed off the glove of McCullum. He stopped all 9 Bobcat shots thus far. Andrioli sends to the back. Point shot blocked in the slot by Berry in the skates of LaBelle. Turnaround shot just over the crossbar. Nearly made it 1-0 Bobcats. Music has started. It's still going, and now they've turned it off. And now a whistle. Not sure what for. Either way, we're in immediate timeout. With 4:02 remaining, first period, we are still scoreless here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Diversified Printing Solutions in Danbury is the Hat-Tricks official printing partner. You want it printed? Call Tina and let them get it inked up for you. They can do it all. Locally owned and printed on paper from Connecticut trees.
Dr. Matt Hartzberg is an official member of the Danbury Hat-Tricks medical team. Hartsburg Chiropractic is cutting-edge chiropractic care right here in your backyard. Check out Hartsburg Chiropractic and get on the road to a pain-free hockey season. Blue Light Electric is a proud sponsor of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Blue Light Electric happily provides service to all parts of Connecticut, performing high-quality electrical work for residential and commercial properties. Blue Light Electric is always accepting new customers.
Litchfield Distillery. It's the spirit of hard work. The Batchers of Litchfield Distillery, in honor of the early farmers of Northwest Connecticut, present to you the locally made Litchfield Distillery bourbon, vodka, and gin. Grab a beverage at the Rabbit Hole and hoist the barrel with the Hat-Tricks.
4:02 left, first period, scoreless. Hat-Tricks and Bobcats combined for just 3 goals last night in a Danbury 2-1 overtime win. Hat-Tricks did not touch the scoreboard until 15:57 of the third. Ruiz on the power play, and then 35 ticks into overtime. LaBelle also on the man advantage. Those the 2 Hat-Tricks goals. We've had just 1 power play in this one, and the Bobcats were unsuccessful on their chance. Hat-Tricks wrapping up a 4-game road trip tonight. They won the first 2 games on Saturday and Sunday of last weekend, 1 in Elmira, 1 in Watertown, and took care of business last night in the 3rd game of the road trip. Hat-Tricks head back home tonight. About a 12-hour trip from Wytheville to Danbury. They next touch the ice on Friday the 29th, lone game of the weekend at the Danbury Ice Arena. Watertown Wolves are in town. And if you haven't seen the promotional schedule for Friday's game, I'm sure you can find some way or another to identify with one of the promotions happening on the 29th. It is a full slate of promotional opportunities. Hey, and if you don't fit within those categories, you could still purchase tickets. We'd love to see you there. One of the final home games in the regular season for the Hat-Tricks. They play just 2 more following Friday's game against Watertown on the 7th and 12th of April, Elmira and Binghamton, to close out the regular season. Hat-Tricks have clinched the playoff spot. They did it last weekend. Now just wrestling with Motor City for positioning in the Empire Division for home ice advantage. The lower seed, though, will host game 1 of that playoff series, and then the final 2 games, at least the second game, will be at the better seed. 3rd game, if needed, it would also be at the better seed. They are tending to a glass issue behind the Bobcats' net. Not exactly sure what the issue is. They're rocking the glass back and forth. You wonder if one of the stanchions was dislodged after a hit, or a puck was shot into it. But nothing has been resolved just yet. And now the Hat-Tricks are going to the locker room, and so are the Bobcats. Well, that is strange. There's still 4:02 on the clock in this period, and both teams have vacated the benches. And are in the locker room. Now, I'm not too sure on the procedure during a situation like this. Well, they just played 24 minutes in the second period. Will they Zamboni the ice, finish the 4 minutes of the first, have the buzzer, and then start the clock with 20 minutes after that? Now they've got the Zamboni door open, but they're still taking a look at the glass behind the Bobcats net. An odd situation. Game 2 in Withville.
Intermission due to glass repair.
Glass repair has forced intermission here at the Apex Center in Virginia. Well, that's a first. If you remember earlier in this season at the Danbury Ice Arena, the Hat-Tricks had a glass pane shatter before a game, caused an hour-long delay, but this seems like a different issue. There's no broken glass. One of the stanchions appears to have bent. It's out of place, and they are trying to slot it back inside the boards. So that is what has caused the holdup. We're at the intermission, so I believe they're going to put 24 minutes on the clock. Can't assume much. They can either put 24 on the clock or play the final 4 minutes of the first period and then start the second period following a horn. So we will see. We will see what happens. I'm just getting word right now.
Something to drink?
Nothing confirmed just yet. They're trying to slot the glass back into place. Met a couple of very kind Bobcats fans since we've been stationed kind of right in the bleachers, sitting amongst the Bobcats faithful, and one of them offering me a drink. Very kind. Inaugural season for Blue Ridge. They had about 850 fans last night, trending more towards 1,000 tonight. Pretty remarkable what they've done inside this arena in such a short amount of time. So we are at the intermission, and I should tell you that playoff packages are available. Now, you'll be purchasing for 6 games, 6 possible games in the playoffs, $66 per seat. The tickets are on sale now. If you're interested, just shoot Herm Sorcher an email, herm@danburyhattricks.com, and he will get you situated. Now, you get parking included, which is certainly significant, and you get to choose where you sit. Guaranteed a game in round 1. Hat-Tricks have officially clinched. And with the way that the cards are unfolding, Motor City has a couple of difficult matchups coming up, including 3 with Columbus this weekend. They've already lost the first of the 3. And for the Hat-Tricks, they expect to come away out of this weekend with 6 points. They've got 2 of a possible 3 thus far, and looking to make it 5 of 6 to head back to Danbury. But only time will tell on how the playoff picture shapes up in the final 7 games of the regular season. Well, we are at the intermission. I will search for answers in terms of what the plan is moving forward. If you're just joining us, you see the camera is facing behind the Bobcats' goal. They're trying to reinsert a stanchion that has become dislodged and is now poking out into the area of play. So that has caused a delay, and we're either playing 4 minutes with a horn and then a fresh 20, or 24 minutes in period number 2. We'll have it all sorted out for you, but we will step aside. Caught up with a couple of the Hat-Tricks players earlier this week. College rookie Billy Berry, the veteran and alternate captain Kyle Gonzalez, and defenseman Charlie Bedard, who was recently returned from loan from the Fayetteville Marksmen. Let's start with Berry, see what they had to say.
Hi, I am here with forward number 11, Billy Berry. You played at Wilkes University. What was the transition like from playing in college to now?
Yeah, I mean, I think getting used to the pace was a little bit different. I think it's a different structure, a game out there, a lot more systems. So I think just adjusting to the team systems and how they play their games, new line mates and stuff, just think that was the biggest adjustment.
How is your relationship with Xavier Abdella, as you both played together in college?
Yeah, I mean, he's like a brother to me. We went to school together. He was always one of the older guys, just someone I always looked up to, just the way he prepares and does his job out there on the ice. He lives with my family, so we consider him one of ours too.
You scored 2 goals this past weekend. How did that feel, being able to contribute to the team's success in clinching the playoffs?
Yeah, it felt good. Definitely a lot of weight off my shoulders getting that first one, and hopefully more to come here towards the end of the season. I just think a lot of the guys out there helped me find the way, get to the net, and good things happen.
Are there any activities or interesting hobbies besides hockey that you have that people might find interesting about you?
Yeah, so my roommate, my freshman year at Wilkes, we started a Belgian waffle food truck. So we got 2 food trucks right now, a storefront. They're the best waffles around, allbelgianwaffles.com if you want to order them. And yeah, that's that.
You were recently joined the team. What is your favorite thing about being here so far in Danbury?
I think the community. There's so much support around here. People are coming up to me after games that I don't know, and they're acting like, we've been best friends for 15 years. So I just think the support around here has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Hattricks fans. I'm here with defenseman Kyle Gonzalez. Kyle, how are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. I hear it's that big 3-0, that birthday today. So happy birthday.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The boys are great to me. All said happy birthday, gave me a hug. So a good day so far.
Good day?
Yeah.
That's great. All right, let's kind of jump right into it. You just came back this past weekend from about 4 months being out.
Yeah.
It's tough playing a sport, and especially being injured off the ice. You got to stay, aside from physically fit, but mentally fit. What were some of the biggest ways that you were able to stay mentally fit from being away?
Oh, man. You're right. It was tough mentally, but it all is credit due to the boys in that locker room along with Coach. Every day, the boys had smiles on their faces, which translated to smiles to my faces. So I was able to stay up through one of the hardest times I'd probably gone through in my life regarding hockey. But like I said, the boys in there kept a smile on my face along with my wife, Megan, as well. So.
No, that's great. And aside from being injured, you were able to stay behind the bench, and being a leader with that big A on your jersey. How was that? Would you say that also additionally helped with, staying mentally focused and still being able to be involved in help?
Absolutely, yeah. With the opportunity Coach gave me to be able to be, part of the coaching staff for that span of time I was out, really kind of allowed me to stay mentally dialed and kind of just a part of the process. When you're hurt and you're away from the team, that can be really grueling mentally, like we talked about. But, I got to join them on road trips. I got to be a part of the pregame speeches and the talks and all the chalk talks. So kind of still staying part of it in that aspect really helped out for sure.
No, definitely. And with that coming back, there's a lot of emotions going through. If you can walk us through and tell us, it's a big comeback.
Yeah. No, Friday night was definitely an emotional night. I tried to stay as focused as much as I could, but I couldn't deflect the fact that it was the first time for me stepping back into a game situation in 4 months. And the boys were great. A little video popped out that day as well, and I saw it before nap time, which got the brain going again, which didn't help. I couldn't shut it down too quickly after that. But, emotional night for me. But the biggest thing is we got the job done, so that's all that really matters for sure.
No, definitely hearing around that arena, hearing all the fans being ready and being excited for you to be back was just a huge, big thing.
Yeah.
So stepping off the ice, it was 4 months, even in general on a day-to-day. What are some of those, if you found a new hobby or activity or continued one, or just, keeping yourself busy aside from coaching, away from hockey?
Yeah.
What were some of the things that definitely kept you busy and going?
Yeah. So, when I first initially got hurt, I was really essentially bedridden. Walking was tough, this and that. So I got really good at Forza. I got really good at Formula One racing. I love racing and stuff like that. But once I was able to kind of get up and moving around, I just came to the rink every day, just trying to put a smile on my face. And this is what I really look forward to I've done all the schooling. I've done my 4 years. I've done the master. So there's really nothing left for me after that other than hockey. So it's a boring time, but it was a long time. But I got good at racing, I guess.
You said you like Formula One.
Yeah.
You have a favorite race car driver?
I do. I like Max Verstappen, obviously, but he's kind of the go-to guy. But I like the Ferrari drivers. I like Lando Norris. I like Sergio Perez. He's a good one too. Just all the big name guys. Not too deep into it, but I like winners. So
No, I could definitely agree with you with Verstappen. He's really good.
Yeah.
So coming back, playoff push, getting ready for the playoffs. You guys just clinched over the weekend. You coming back, aside from being behind the bench, you yourself, what do you bring coming back and being ready for the playoffs with the team?
Yeah, for me personally, I think what I can bring to the team is just a little bit more stability, maybe help guys out like Belzy and Yal that have just been chugging 30 minutes a night, even X-Man, all the whole decor. I know I've missed a few. Everyone that's gotten us to this point, they've done a great job. So hopefully I can just kind of relieve them a little bit and just kind of help a little bit more in the back end, kind of keep the energy up on the bench and just kind of bring a little experience as well. Being in tough situations before with the year last year and this and that, just kind of keep everyone calm in tough situations and just let everyone know we'll get through it together as a team. I think just a little bit of experience and some relief. Yeah.
Well, hey, with that being said, I thank you for your time and good luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I'm with Charlie Bedard, defenseman for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. So you were loaned to the Fayetteville Marksmen, and you've played in the SPHL once before that. What do you think the differences were between there and the Fed?
Good question. The speed's a little faster in the SP, but not a whole ton overall, but definitely happy to be back.
What were your emotions like coming back to play in Danbury?
Definitely a little emotional. Just overall happy to be back. Boys welcomed me back with open arms, ready to go.
Very nice. So do you have any weird pregame rituals? Or even game day? Anything you do on a game day that's kind of out of the ordinary?
Pretty simple. Just get something to eat early and nap, coffee.
What's your coffee order before a game?
Caramelized coffee with no cream, no sugar. Just plain.
Dunkin'?
Yeah. Sometimes Starbucks. Don't discriminate.
That's the way to go. What's your favorite thing to do outside of hockey?
Pretty average golfer, but not gonna flex, just average. But yeah, table tennis, little ping pong.
Still getting active.
Yeah.
All right.
Being an athlete.
If you could switch spots with any professional athlete, who would it be and why?
Ooh. That is a great question. Say I'm good at golf, go Tiger Woods. Sure.
Not Charlie Woods?
Huh?
Not Charlie Woods?
He's pretty good too. He might be better soon. But,
you got the same name.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite place to eat in or around Danbury?
I have visited Chipotle way too many times, but definitely open to some new suggestions.
Yeah, we'll get on that for you. All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Back inside the Apex Center here in Wytheville, Virginia. A game of red light, green light just wrapping up in front of us as the glass was apparently fixed. We are good to go. The stanchion is back in place, and hockey will be played for the rest of the night. We got through 16 minutes of the opening period, and then the stanchion popped out. So now the question becomes, and what I believe will happen is you'll play 4 minutes to finish off the first period with a hard stop at the horn. The teams will stay out there because the ice will be Zamboni. And then you play period number 2 with a fresh 20 on the clock. Now, you never really know in the Federal Prospects Hockey League how they want to work this situation out. They could put 24 minutes on and just run it. We shall see. They're putting the finishing touches on that stanchion, I believe, right behind the Bobcats net. It's off to the left off of your screen. They do have the Zamboni on the ice. So that indicates that hockey will be played the rest of the night. And the Hat-Tricks already have a long bus ride in the near future, and this delay certainly not helping with their arrival time back in Danbury. No score, 16 minutes into period number 1. The shot 7-6 Bobcats, and we are at a standstill. It appeared that they had resolved the issue. Now they're back near the same stanchion. Zamboni is on the ice, but reversing and not driving on the ice quite yet. So we are in a bit of a standstill. 10 minutes on the clock, a fresh 10 minutes in the intermission. As we're all wondering when hockey will resume here in Virginia. Well, it's just a waiting game now. And with that, I'm going to go do some investigating on what time we might get back on the air and drop the puck to finish off period number 1. Well, we will send it to a break. Hat-Tricks and Bobcats scoreless, 16 minutes erased first period. We are in a delay. A glass stanchion was dislodged and has forced this stoppage here in Virginia. We'll take a break. Stay with us. Hockey should be played the rest of the night here in Virginia. Don't go anywhere, Hat-Tricks fans. We'll be right back. Doug Latuca back inside the Apex Center here in Wytheville, Virginia. We've just gotten word that the stanchion is fixed. You can see the Zamboni has started refreshing the ice. Teams will come out of the locker room in the next 5 minutes or so. We will play the final 4 minutes of the first period. The horn will sound concluding the first frame, then a 2-minute intermission, almost like the time between the third and overtime periods, and then we'll play on period number 2. Certainly not the norm, but that's how things are unfolding tonight, and we'll embrace it. So we'll step away for another couple of minutes. Both of these teams talking things over. They played 16 minutes of scoreless hockey. When we return, the final 4 minutes of period number 1 here in Virginia. Stay with us on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. All right, we are back in Whitville, Virginia, and we will play hockey the rest of the way. The stanchion that was sticking out has been slotted back in. The ice has been zambonied, and the final 4 minutes of the first period in just a couple of minutes. This game 2 of the weekend between the Bobcats and Hattrick's first trip ever for Danbury down here in Whitville, Virginia. Hattrick's closing out a 4-game road trip. They have won 4 games in a row. And Danbury with 11 wins in the past 14 games. And in 10 of those 11 wins, the Hattricks have scored 3+ goals. The only exception last night in Danbury's 2-1 overtime victory against these same Bobcats. Blue Ridge has struggled. 5 losses in a row. 8 defeats in the last 9 games, and in 7 of those 8 defeats, they've surrendered 3+ goals. Well, they've been defensively strong this weekend, allowing just 2 goals, including the one in overtime. But both offenses stymied as we resume play. First period, 3:45 on the clock. We'll have a 2-minute intermission between the end of the first and the second. And then a fresh 20 minutes on the clock. Puck is pounded in by Colby Johnson, making his hat-trick's debut. Flew into Roanoke last night. Had a short stint with the Mayhem in the SPHL. He's 6'3", 215. Berry chops it ahead for Ratcliffe. 3-on-2 for the Hattricks. Johnson lost the handle. Centers behind Gonzalez. Rather, that's Berry who was charging right up the gut. And the Bobcats reorganize in their zone. 3 minutes to go, first period. About a minute gone since we've resumed play. Puck is flipped in on McCullum. Glove save, Andreoli's past net side. It's underneath McCullum. They whack away. It's still free, and it spits out to the left point. Wrist shot, trickle save. Rebound went wide. Joel Frazee, the former hat-trick, had a yawning net mouth, and he snapped it wide. McCullum was down and out near the left post. Frazee was stationed at the right post. The puck off the ricochet went right to Frazee, and he missed the net past the left post. Face off at the near circle. One back by Tattern. Too much mustard on it. Skips out to center ice. Frazee this season, 14 points, 8 goals with the Bobcats. Puck deflects off the mask of McCullum and into the protective netting. Hattricks were held off the scoreboard until 4 minutes remaining in the third period yesterday. Came away with 2 of a possible 3 points, overtime win. Hattricks with the third line of Falanga, Cunningham, and Di Nicola, with Tetro and Gonzalez on defense. A point shot, sticked aside by McCullum. Ford swooping around the net. He lost an edge. A scrum in the near corner. It springs out to the left point. Frazee could not keep as it trickled underneath his blade. Frazee, backhand pass picked off by Cunningham. Ford stepped in front of him, but Cunningham to the back for Tetro. Steps over the line. Hat-trick's offsides.
Play whistle dead for offsides.
Offsides on the hat-tricks. Both teams make changes. 1:41 left in the opening period. But when the final horn sounds for the period, do not go anywhere. 2-minute break, and then the start of the second. If you're just joining us, they pause the game 16 minutes in for a glass repair.
Play whistle dead for icing.
So that explains the awkward situation. Puck was touched with a high stick. Far circle draw. Ruiz and Vlasov. It's steered around by Ernest. Right up the gut, it's Danny Martin. He gallops up the right wing. McKittrick pesters him from behind. Ivashkin centers. It's wiped away. Outlet pass into the skates of Johnson. It's Ruiz. Right side has some room. Ruiz lost the handle. Slipped it to the left point. LaBelle pinching. Could not keep. And the Hat-tricks shoot it in on goal. Leskewitz played it off for his defense under a minute to go. First period. Vlasov curling in the corner. Martin for Ivashkin. Pocket picked by LaBelle. And there's Johnson. Lead pass for Davis. Lost it. Johnson to the backhand. Stopped. Rebound is free and whacked wide. Left pad save from Leskewitz. Keeps this scoreless. Davis out there with Berry and Johnson. LaBelle at the left point. Shoots. Blocked. Bobcats the other way. There's Martin on a break. Martin shoots and scores. A breakaway goal breaks the ice. 1-0 Bobcats with under 20 ticks to go. Period one. Danny Martin sprung on a breakaway. Now tied for second on the team in goals with 14. Evened up with Vladislav Vlasov, who scored last night for the Bobcats. And Blue Ridge on the board first as time continues to tick on period number one. Puck is rimmed all the way around. Henning on the backhand, outlet pass picked off at center with 10 seconds. Centering try off the skate of Bowen. And that is it for period one. Bobcats break through after about a 20-minute delay due to glass repair. We play the final 4 minutes of period number one, and the Bobcats get on the board first. Danny Martin with his 14th goal of the season, if you're excluding Ivashkin's 25, which are split between Binghamton and Blue Ridge. Martin is now tied for the team lead with Vlasov, who got the assist on the goal at 19:45 of period number one. A 2-minute break in between the first and second, and then we jump right in to period number two. So the Hat-tricks, who had controlled most of the first period, did not have many quality opportunities on Owen Leskewitz, but kept the puck out of their own end, surrender a breakaway goal to Martin with 15 ticks remaining in the period. That was right after Leskewitz made his toughest stop of the game thus far, as Colby Johnson was looking to make an impact in his first game with the Hat-tricks. went forehand, backhand, and could not stuff it past the left pad of Leskowitz. Bobcats turned it and made it 1-0. Doug Latuca with you Saturday night from Wytheville, Virginia. Blue Ridge Bobcats and Danbury Hat-Tricks. Game number 51 out of 56 of the regular season for the Hat-Tricks, who are playoff bound. Danbury 5 points behind Motor City for the second spot in the Empire, meaning home ice advantage in a round one matchup between the Hat-Tricks and Rockers. All right, the 2 minutes is up. Teams flip sides. Hat-Tricks moving left to right in the middle period. It's 1-0 Blue Ridge on Martin's goal at 19:45, assisted by Vlasov. Hat-Tricks start the second period with Falanga, Woolley, and DiNicola. That's Bedard and LaBelle on defense. The puck is dropped, and we are off and running in period number 2. Bobcats taking advantage of that 20-minute break. The restart at 4 minutes to go in the first period, and they get on the scoreboard with 15 seconds left in the period. Hat-Tricks in the O-zone. Bedard shot blocked down. Woolley searching for it. Tied up in his skates, and Ford leads the charge from right to left. Daly goes cross corner. Springs to the near side. Bedard double teamed. Daly comes out of the pile. Sends it to the back. Norwinski's drive blocked. Andrioli cutting middle. Back pass for Norwinski. DiNicola off to the races. Norwinski beats him to it. Falanga pounds it in. And Norwinski reorganizes in his own zone. Bobcats tip it in. A minute gone in the opening period. 1-0 Blue Ridge. Rather in the second period. 1-0 Blue Ridge. Still having to sort through the lack of an intermission separating these two periods, but we will get it together. Norwinski flutters it in, and Bedard goes D-to-D with LaBelle. The forwards are McKittrick, Ruiz, and Cunningham. Top line that we saw all of last weekend was changed up at the end of yesterday and the start of tonight's game. Reunited early in this period. Hat-Trick searching for offense, scored just twice last night and waited 56 minutes to do so. Bobcats ice the puck. A minute and 47 seconds elapsed. Period 2. Shots are 8-7 Bobcats. They lead 1-0 on Martin's team-leading 14th goal of the season at 19:45 of the first period. Barry and Martin for the face-off. The Hat-Tricks rookie wins it. Gonzalez at the right point. Wheels up below the goal line. Stick lift, loose puck. And it's rainbowed through center where Tetro races after it. Bobcats make a change following the face-off. They were out there due to the icing. Leskowitz touched it with his stick. Johnson was in a scrum. Puck was pried free and kicked ahead by McHugh. Berry angles it for Ratcliffe. Lost possession. It's whipped back in, and McCullum plays it off for Tetro. 2.5 gone, second period. 1-0 Blue Ridge. Johnson nearly lining up Andrioli at center. Johnson in his debut with the Hat-Tricks, 6'3", 212. Davis, right wing, wrist shot, save, rebound, Lively in the slot, and Woolley swung and missed. Vlasov zigzagging through center, halted by Pamelaine, outlet pass behind Woolley. Davis digging for it. There's Davis up the left side, 2-on-1. Davis shoots, missed the net. Rings to the right point. Henning ties it up. Davis rims it around for Falanga. Juwan Davis playing in just his first game since February 25th. Today, March 23rd. Was a scratch last night. Zinchenko replacing Davis. Davis replacing Zinchenko in the lineup. Point shot flutters. It's in the crease. They jab at it. The whistle blows. McCullum's got it underneath him. Wasn't exactly sure where it was right away with Ivoskin. In the area. Got to give the Bobcats credit. This is a team that is mostly out of playoff contention, 16 points out of a playoff spot with under 10 to go. And they have been strong defensively. And they've really pushed the offense more so than the Hat-Tricks have tonight. And going back to yesterday, they have the lone goal at 19:45 of the opening period. Ruiz shoots off the side of the net, and Leskewitz holds on to it at the net side. Now, Johnny Ruiz, 3 goals in the last 3 games, points in 6 consecutive games, 10 during that span, and an even greater streak, points in 15 of the last 16. And in those 16 games, 28 points, 16 goals for the Rabbits captain. Hat-Tricks with 80 points on the season. 38 more than Blue Ridge. Berry wins the draw. Bedard. Down low, Johnson throws it to the middle. Steered aside by Leskewitz. Johnson inside for Berry. His stuff-in try went off his stick. It's skied through center. A bouncing puck whacked by LaBelle. Ratcliffe ahead for Berry. Too far in front. And Tattern resets for the Bobcats. At center ice, it's Andrei Ivanov. To Delcart, back for Ivanov, and into the Hat-Trick zone. LaBelle all the way around for Ratcliffe, ramps it out to center. Stephen Ford backtracking in his zone. Bangs it off the glass. Bedard stops it at the red line, flips it to the far side. Ford steers it off the boards. Andrioli's centering pass gathered in by Daly. He has some room. Legs are churning. Drop pass picked off by DiNicola. There's Davis right up the gut, all alone. Davis shoots, scores! In his first game since February 25th, Davis ties the game. His first professional goal, second professional point. Juwan Davis in the lineup, paying dividends. Tie game. He has been all over the ice. One of the most noticeable hat-tricks thus far tonight. DiNicola with the spring pass, and Davis with a Bobcat pestering him from behind, lifted it over the shoulder of Leskewitz. And this game is level at 1 apiece. Davis, who played 5 seasons at New England College, had 14 goals in 111 games, has been waiting patiently to insert back in the lineup. He gets his chance tonight, and he makes it 1-1. Now an outlet for McKittrick, elevated and over his stick, would have been another breakaway for the Hat-Tricks. 2 breakaway goals tonight. 1 for Martin in the first, and now Davis here in the second. Tie score. Puck pops in the air, Andrioli shielding. Tetro is in deep. Andrioli lost an edge. Ruiz searching for it. Long outlet pass onto the stick of Frazee. Play is offsides, and we've hit the first media timeout of period number 2. Hat-Tricks tie the score on Juwan Davis's first professional goal. We'll step aside here in Wytheville.
Stony Hill Dental Care has served as the leader and preferred provider of dental care in Bethel, Connecticut. Go see Dr. K. He'll make you look like $1,000,000 and feel like it too. The official team dentist of the Danbury Hat Tricks.
Vision Designs is the official merchandiser of the Danbury Hat Tricks. Vision Designs is a full-service screen printing, embroidery, signage, and promotional company locally owned and operated in Brookfield. Vision Designs is the hometown company with the national power. Check them out at visiondesignsct.com.
Decker Tool Rental is the official full-service equipment rental shop of the Danbury Hat Tricks, providing a complete line of quality equipment to all types of contractors, tradesmen, and do-it-yourselfers. Visit them today at 84 Federal Road in Danbury or on the web at deckertoolrental.com.
Kafala Coffee. Real coffee, good coffee, no, great coffee. Plus hot chocolate right on the concourse level at the Danbury Ice Arena. Kafala Coffee. Stay warm this winter. 1-1, 14 minutes left. Second period. Hat Tricks with the lone goal in the frame. Juwan Davis with his first career goal at 5:11 of the period. As the Hat Tricks on the board and some life for Danbury. Berry is out there with Johnson and Ratcliffe up front. Hamalain on defense with Henning. Bobcats turned aside at the red line. Hat Tricks offsides. About 10 seconds ticked off the clock. We've played a little more than 6 minutes in the second period. Now pregame, the guys were wandering it off the bus, just taking a look at some of the players, some wearing pants, others in shorts, a turnover below the goal line. And it's Johnson corralling and banking it off the boards, and took a look at Davis and couldn't help but notice the quads on Juwan Davis. Tree trunks for legs, almost like Saquon Barkley. And now you see his speed on display. Breakaway goal ties this game up. Berry in the right corner, spinning to the back. Henning, wrist shot, snagged by Leskewitz. And no rebound. Shot was likely going wide, but Leskewitz opts for the whistle anyway. Also worth mentioning pregame, some of the guys playing some two-touch soccer. A little volley action. And I would not call myself a particularly good soccer player, but I joined in on the action and made it to the finals of the two-touch soccer. Myself and Josh LaBelle, the last two remaining, did pretty well. A couple headers mixed in there, so if my words are jumbled, well, could have a concussion after a couple headers during the pregame soccer. Here's Cunningham, wrist shot stopped, swept away. Falanga picks it up and rims it around the boards. Activating from the right point is Bedard. He's walled off by Daly, keeps it alive. Bedard centers, delayed penalty. Bedard stuff in try, touched up by Daly, and Davis draws a Bobcats penalty. He was tripped up in tight, was looking for that centering pass from Bedard, was hauled down, and the Hat Tricks head to the man advantage for the first time tonight. Hat Tricks were 2 for 4 last night. Their only 2 goals came on the power play, including the winner in overtime 35 seconds in. Andrioli is in the box for tripping. Second power play in this game. First for the Hat Tricks, who have power play goals in 13 of the last 15 games, 25 during that span. Top unit on. LaBelle rears back. Fakes a pass, now hands off McKittrick. Return for LaBelle, scored from a similar spot last night. LaBelle straight away for Ruiz. One-timer kicked out by Leskewitz. Right point, LaBelle. Crisscrosses with Ruiz. Ruiz has it, pulls, shoots. Hit a body in front. Spits to the far side, LaBelle. Ruiz, net side, center, and a left pad save. Hat-tricks keep it alive. 40 seconds off the power play. LaBelle, slap shot. Berry went down in front. Nothing called. Bobcats clear. Martin up the left side, pestered by McKittrick. Rims it in deep. And LaBelle resets with a minute remaining on the power play. Ruiz across for Cunningham. Navigates into the zone. Hat-tricks making partial changes. Ratcliffe for Woolley. Wrist shot flutters wide, deflected in front. Ford can't clear. Woolley at the left point. For Ratcliffe, wrist shot, fought off, rebound, bounces to the near corner. Final 30 of the power play. They wrestle forward in the corner. Johnson tossed around. Ford gets to the forehand. It hit the official in the corner. Bouncing puck. Hat-tricks keep. Ratcliffe climbs the wall. Has Pamelayan. Shoots. Blocked. Pamelayan chops it towards the goal. Bouncing puck. Ratcliffe collects. Low left. Final 5 of the power play. Woolley for Ratcliffe. Walks. Shoots. Blocked. Back to even. Bobcats kill it. Both teams 0 for 1 of the power play. Johnson in front. Ratcliffe scores! Johnson to Ratcliffe, one-timer, and the hat-trick step in front. First lead of the night. Right as the power play had expired, Johnson won the battle in the right corner, centered, and Ratcliffe snapped his 13th goal this season past Leskewitz, and the Hat-tricks have a 2-1 lead. So Danbury with 2 goals here in the second period have jumped out to a 1-goal lead. Ratcliffe now with 12 points in his last 10 games since returning from an upper body injury, which sidelined him for 10 games. 4th goal over the last 10 for Ratcliffe. Now at 41 points on the season. Puck is deflected in. Hat-tricks making changes. Weaving in his own zone was Delcart. Quick up for Ruiz. Chips and chases. Delcart turned over. McKittrick. Pass off the back of the goal. Was snuffed out and skipped out of the zone. LaBelle chased by Daly, who peels off. LaBelle with some time to start the breakout. Ruiz lost the puck at the blue line. McCullum out of the goal. LaBelle starts the rush from left to right. Deflected by McKittrick. He darts to the bench for a change. Bobcats escape the zone. The goal, Ratcliffe from Johnson at 9:42. First point with the hat-tricks for Colby Johnson in his Danbury debut. Now a centering pass for Ivashkin. Shot was deflected wide. And a 3-on-1 for the hat-tricks. Berry across for Cunningham. Shoots! Save off the blocker of Leskewitz. To the right point, Henning. Shot pass was detected. Blue Ridge the other way. Ivashkin up the right wing. Ivashkin cuts middle, strong on his skates, and he swept it wide. Here's Cunningham, outnumbered in the zone. Has Pamelayan in front. Cunningham drags, shoots, save, no rebound. From Liskowitz. Second media timeout of the middle period. Hattricks with a 2-1 lead thanks to Jacob Ratcliffe. We'll step aside of the Hattricks Digital Network.
Clancy Moving and Relocation. Moving is stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Call Clancy and let them do the heavy lifting for you. Resident and commercial services plus other services such as storage. Remember, Clancy is fancy.
Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury is the premier automobile partner in the Danbury area. Located on Newtown Road, the Bennett family has been putting the community behind the wheel for over 35 years. Dream big, drive a Maserati or Alfa Romeo. New and pre-owned vehicles available. Let Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury be your choice.
Dowler Garage in New Preston specializes in batteries, brakes, and general service. When you're stuck, you're in luck. Call Mike so you don't need a bike. Dowler Garage.
Peach Wave of Bethel. Located on Greenwood Avenue in Bethel, Peach Wave is your place to go for a quality treat. Frozen yogurt and toppings, it doesn't get much better. Catch a wave, a peach one.
Welcome back to the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia. We've played a little more than 12 minutes in the second period. The Hattricks with the only 2 goals of the frame. Juwan Davis at 5'11" from, they're giving the assist to Colby Johnson. Second goal at 9:42, Ratcliffe from Johnson as well. And now I believe that will be changed to DiNicola, but we will see. Off the face-off, a point shot stopped. Loose puck in front. Davis prying for it. Wins the battle. And it's jarred free. Banged off the glass. And the Hattricks recoil and ice the puck.
Play whistle dead for icing.
So an icing the Hattricks. If you're just joining us, ice repair delayed the finish of the first period. 16 minutes in, they blew the play dead, fixed the ice, Zamboni'd the surface, sent the teams to the locker room. Then we came out, played the final 4 minutes of the first period. Wytheville got on the board at 19:45. Martin from Vlasov got the scoring started, but the Hattricks with 2 goals here in period number 2. I believe the first assist should go to DiNicola, who had the outlet pass to Davis for the breakaway. Right now it's reading Johnson. So as of now, Johnson with 2 assists in his Hattricks debut. That likely to change, but hey, he'll take it. Ruiz bodying Ivashkin, a shot from Martin off the glove of McCullum from the ring of the left circle. This is the dangerous line for Binghamton. Vlasov, Martin, and Ivashkin. Ivashkin was with the Black Bears earlier this season. Has done damage against the Hattricks. Had an assist last night. Bedard, wrist shot. Liskowitz doesn't know where it is. It squirted to the far corner. Centering pass from Johnson off the side of the net. Bobcats can't clear. Berry with Johnson behind the net. Johnson in front for Ratcliffe. Knocked away. There go the Bobcats. Up the left side, it's Martin. Drag, shoots, deflected out of play by LaBelle, who is the only D-man back. And the score remains 2-1. Face-off set to the right of Hattrick starter Connor McCullum, who has stopped 13 of 14 Blue Ridge shots in this one. Mentioned Ivashkin and his assist last night. He's played 14 games against the Hattricks this season, 13 of them with Binghamton. He has 16 points, 6 goals, and 10 assists. Acquired near the deadline, requested a trade out of Binghamton, top team of the Empire Division. Pamelayan picked off at center ice. Delcart wailed it in. Hattricks. Corral, Ratcliffe. Cross ice. DiNicola got a piece. Berry chugs after it. Collides with Delcart in the corner. Delcart emerges with it and shovels it as far as the neutral zone. Ratcliffe turned back. The righty on his backhand locates Pamela Lane. Sauces ahead. It's swatted at by Berry, who gets off for a change. Delcart reverses course. Woolley chugs the legs. Hattricks nearly force a turnover, but the Bobcats get out of the zone. There's Joel Frazee. Took a shoulder from Henning. Frazee throws it to the middle, deflects off a few bodies. Gonzalez hauled down. Cunningham could not clear. Andrioli cuts into the middle. Hit by Henning. Knocked Andrioli off the puck. There's Cunningham. Kicks it to himself. Ford glides over, knocks the puck away. Here's Daly. Shielding. Daly shoots. Save McCullum. He steers it away. Bowen
Delayed penalty on Danbury.
with a delayed penalty on the Hattricks. Gives it off for Martin, taken away by Falenga. And the Bobcats headed to their second power play of the night, trailing by 1. Media timeout here at the Apex Center. Stay with us on the Hattricks Digital Network.
Reverie Brewing Company is a featured beverage in the Danbury Ice Arena. Grab a Reverie and don't quit your daydream. When you drink Reverie, anything is possible.
Set Fitness is the official gym and training center of the Danbury Hattricks. Pump iron or tone up. Join Set Fitness and be the best you.
Mitchell, experience the difference. Mitchell has served the community since 1945. Heating oil, propane, and service for your home or business. Mitchell is ready to serve.
Oak Ridge Waste and Recycling has the roots in the community for all of your needs. Residential and commercial, Oak Ridge is the official sanitation partner of the Danbury Hattricks.
Hat City Physical Therapy is Danbury, Connecticut's leading provider of physical therapy and orthopedic specialists. Their highly skilled and caring team of licensed therapy providers are focused and committed to restoring your health and well-being so that you can return to the life you enjoy.
Bobcats head to the power play, second opportunity tonight. Hattricks holding on to a 1-goal lead. 2 goals in this period, Davis and Ratcliffe, about 4 minutes apart from each other. And Blue Ridge, who holds the worst power play in the FPHL, under 10%, can tie the game on this 5-on-4. Face off at the far circle. Bobcats won it, but it skipped over a stick at the blue line. Cross-checking the call on Corey Cunningham at 15:22.
Power play!
Martin, cross ice, settled by Newberg, who lofted it into the Bobcats bench for a whistle. Hattricks trying to make it 5 wins in a row. A sluggish start in period number 1. Very reminiscent of last night, but they have picked it up in period 2. Breakaway goal for Davis, his first pro goal. And then the hard work of Johnson in his debut set up Ratcliffe in the low slot, one-timer past Leskewitz. And it's 2-1. Norwinski steps over the blue line, hands off for Frazee. Awkward carom. Frazee at the left point for Norwinski. Number 44 in white. Centers for Frazee. They crisscross. Norwinski. Return for Frazee. Shoots. McCullum got it with the glove. Norwinski. Center point, inside Frazee, pulls, shoots! Shoulder saved by McCullum, and it ricochets into the netting. McCollum not tested much tonight. 15 saves on 16 Bobcat shots. Did not play yesterday. It was Joseph who picked up his second win and his second start as a hat trick. He's got a .952 save percentage with the hat tricks. McCollum leads the league in wins with 22 and assists with 5 for goaltenders. Outlet pass shorthanded. Here's Ruiz breaking through, had his stick lifted by Andrioli. Ruiz, a dangerous customer, shorthanded, leads the hat tricks with 5 shorthanded goals. Danbury tied for the most in the league with 10. LaBelle read the pass, tipped it into the netting. And another stoppage with 28 ticks on the Bobcats' man advantage. Tonight, the end of a 4-game road trip for Danbury back home next Friday, 7:30 puck drop against Watertown at the third to last home game of the regular season for the Hat-Tricks, who are guaranteed at least one home playoff game this season after clinching last weekend. Final 15 seconds of the power play, under 3 to go, second period. A shot off the shoulder of McCollum. That was Tattern, 91, who got the opportunity. Left point bid. Off the chest of McCollum. Hat-tricks kill it off. Cunningham out of the box. Here's Cunningham. He's offsides. Line's been a bit late to recognize with Cunningham breaking out of the box. He was going to the bench to get a change, but realized, hey, the puck fell right in my lap. Was offsides, face off to center ice. Bobcats won it back at the hat-trick zone for an intentional offsides. And the face-off at the near dot just outside the hat-trick zone. It's Martin and Falanga for the draw. Hat-tricks prevail. Pamelayan angles for DiNicola, steps over the red line. Had his pocket picked. Davis now with Falanga and DiNicola. DiNicola strong, spun down in the slot. Nothing called. We play on. Headband for Ivashkin. One-on-one with Pamelayan. Ivashkin swoops behind the net, picked up by Henning. The shot was blocked, kept in at the point by Ford. His wrister. McCollum saw it all the way. With 2 minutes, the reading on the clock. Second period. Face-off back into the hat-trick zone. Following some changes from both teams. Tattern won the face-off. Vlasov spins, puts one on, sticked aside by McCollum, and kicked out to center ice. Tattern picked off by Woolley. It's Ratcliffe. Fires it in deep. Woolley, Barry in front, the shot, score! A loose puck in front. Barry stuffed it home and they wave it off. They wave off the goal.
No goal.
I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe the net was dislodged. That could be the only reasoning, because the puck squirted out in front and Barry stuffed it through the 5-hole of Leskewitz. And now they will take a look. Now last night the overhead cameras were not working due to the inclement weather outside. Tonight it's clear, a bit windy but no precipitation. So the cameras should be a go. That was the controversy last night in overtime. Bobcats wanted a goalie interference. They couldn't review it. The cameras were not working. You cannot take the cameras from the broadcast feed during a review, so the game was over right then and there. The Hat-Tricks believe they have scored their third goal of the period. It would be Berry's third goal of the season. Picked up his first professional goal last weekend, had 2 in the 3 games, home and home with Elmira and a road game in Watertown. Delays and stoppages, the theme of tonight's game. We had the glass repair 16 minutes into the first period, and that about a 20-25 minute delay. And now here, they'll take a look at the Berry goal. The call on the ice was no goal, so they'll have to find conclusive evidence that it is a legal goal. Now, I'm still wondering what exactly the reasoning for waving the goal off was. If I had to say, it would be for goaltender interference. Not goaltender interference. The net being dislodged behind Liskiewicz. So it does appear that the cameras overhead are working tonight, meaning plays can be reviewed. That's why they're taking a look at this goal, and a long look, I may add. And it's just the referees who will decide. There is no control center like you see in the NHL or throughout the 4 major professional sports. It is just the referee's discretion. They make the final call. While we have a stoppage, we do want to thank the Blue Ridge Bobcats for providing us a feed for tonight's game. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties we had yesterday. Believe that we have corrected those tonight with the help of some of the Bobcats staff and our terrific director, who is back home, Calvin Savoya. Appreciate all the help. Well, the refs have made a decision, and it's a good goal. They count it. Billy Berry with the stuff-in goal. After review, the Hat-Tricks take a 3-1 lead. They were so adamant when the puck went in that it was no goal, but they count it. Berry now with points in 6 straight games, 3 goals and 6 points during that span. And the rookie right out of college, 5 seasons at Wilkes University, has pushed the lead to 2 with about a minute and a half to go in this second period. It's the youngsters coming through for the Hat-Tricks. And the newbies, Johnson, Davis, Berry, 3-1 Hat-Tricks, 3 unanswered goals, all in this period. There's Johnson to the goal, backhander fought off by Liskiewicz. Gonzalez, high to low. Behind the net, shoveled up the boards. Gonzalez pinching from the right point. Jostling for it, Ruiz to the front. Bounces wide. McKittrick for Johnson. Return for McKittrick. Getting there first was Ernest for the Bobcats. And sprinting after it is Martin. Martin, high slot, drag, shoots. Stick save by McCullum. 40 seconds remaining, second period. Johnson. Could not clear. Kept in. Slap shot blocked by Johnson. Tetro escapes the zone. Zigzagging through center, carries in to the Bobcats' end, took a hit, got back to his skates and pushed it for Cunningham. To the back, Falanga. Wrist shot, glove save by Leskewitz. With 12 seconds left in the second period. After a slow 20 minutes for the Hat-Tricks, the middle 20 a lot sharper, and as a result, they've built a 2-goal lead thanks to 3 straight goals. Falanga, Di Nicola, and Cunningham on the ice. In the final 12 seconds, Bedard and LaBelle man the back. Off the faceoff, free puck, Falanga tied up. It's Cunningham on the backhand. Cunningham shoots, stopped by Leskewitz. A defenseman might have helped him out. And the final seconds tick off. What a stop with about 5 seconds remaining. This game easily could have been 4-1 Hat-Tricks. And now after the whistle, we've got some pushing and shoving. Fans on their feet. First time we've seen emotions boil over this weekend. Goalie's getting involved. LaBelle's got a grab of Martin. Bedard and Leskewitz are messing around. Now Bedard has a jersey full of Leskewitz. And now LaBelle, they drop the gloves. LaBelle drops the gloves with Newberg, and LaBelle taken down. After the whistle, both of the guys going after it, and now Bedard might drop as well. Newberg and LaBelle want more. LaBelle to the dressing room. Not much of a fight between Newberg and LaBelle. One punch each, then they tumble to the ice. I'm not sure what the refs are doing. They got to get the guys off the ice. The period is over. Get them off the ice. Instead, they're letting them stand around, which has resulted in a fight, more pushing, more shoving, and more silliness after the whistle. Well, now the refs have done their job. The players have dispersed. Gloves are being picked up. And this period is over. Hat-Tricks win the period. They score 3 unanswered goals. Davis, Ratcliffe, and Berry in that order at 5:11, 9:42, and 18:24. Now the Hat-Tricks in the driver's seat, heading into period number 3. Now the fans enjoy the extracurriculars after the whistle. You'd have to assume both Newberg and LaBelle will get 5 minutes for fighting. And maybe some coincidental roughing penalties as well could result. But the refs will talk it over. They have yet to start the intermission clock. We'll stay with you to see what the verdict is on potential penalties. Shots after 40, 26-21 Hat-Tricks. They flipped the game on its head in that second period. 18 shots for the Hat-Tricks in period number 2 compared to just 7 in the first. Penalties are still filing in. They're near the scorer's area. Chatting it over. Ruiz is there for the Hat-Tricks. Martin for the Bobcats. once the penalties are revealed. We'll kick it over to this week's Catching Up with McCreary. Sit down with head coach Billy McCreary and his daughter Isla. Great insight. It was recorded on Wednesday, right before we stepped on the bus, took the trip down to Wytheville. Still waiting for the final call on the penalties and what they may be. Now, a couple of them have started to filter in. They've put on 2 minutes unsportsmanlike for LaBelle and 5 minutes for fighting for LaBelle. And continuing a fight for LaBelle. That's a misconduct. Those are the 3 penalties that are up on the board as of now. I'm assuming more will continue to filter in. We've still yet to start the intermission countdown. As we are awaiting more of the penalties to come. They give Josh Newberg 5 minutes for fighting. And a misconduct. All right, well, it's going to be tough to decipher because they're inputting it right now as I'm speaking, and they're changing the penalties. So let's just take a moment and wait for everything to filter through. Tough job for the stats keepers, especially after an incident like that. It's 3-1 after 40 minutes of play. Hattricks have scored the last 3 goals. Davis, his first pro goal. Ratcliffe continuing to fill up the score sheet. And Barry with his 3rd goal in a Hattricks uniform. And now has points in 6 straight games. Now I'll give you the penalties that are on the board right now. You have Stephen Ford, an unsportsmanlike conduct for the Bobcats. Josh LaBelle, unsportsmanlike conduct and a fighting major. And Josh Newberg, an instigating minor and 5-minute major for fighting. I believe that is correct. Referees have left the ice. And the penalties appear to be final. With that, I think the Hattricks are going to end up with a power play to start the 3rd period. The instigator and the unsportsmanlike would wipe, as would the fighting. It just leaves Ford's unsportsmanlike or Newberg's instigator, whatever they pick. Well, we'll have the full details on it once period 3 comes around. We are at the intermission in between periods 2 and 3. Hattricks with a 3-1 lead, 3 straight goals in the second to step in front. We will step aside here on the Hattricks Digital Network. Let's kick it over to Catching Up with McCreary. Head coach Billy McCreary and his daughter Isla had some insight before our trip down to Wytheville. Here it is.
Hey Hattricks fans, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with McCreary. I'm Doug Latuga, the broadcaster for the Hattricks, with Hattricks head coach and general manager Billy McCreary. Coach, how are things?
Doing well, just getting ready to go on the road here.
Very exciting trip down to Wytheville, Virginia. First time ever Blue Ridge Bobcats in their inaugural season. So 2 games coming up this weekend against Blue Ridge. But first, let's backtrack a little bit to last weekend. You guys have a very successful 3 games. You come away with all 9 possible points. What were some of the takeaways from those 3 wins?
Well, I just think we're focusing on us. It doesn't matter who we play, and the guys are really playing some good hockey right now. From the goaltenders on out, they're confident, and they're playing as a group. So I think the last 3 games have certainly shown that.
Yeah, the first game at home, of course, and then the 2 on the road against 2 teams that are fighting for their playoff lives, right? So you had Elmira for 2. A home and home, and then against Watertown. Did you feel any desperation from those teams? Of course, you're looking for points as well to hop Motor City, but those teams are really trying to get that final spot in the Empire.
Yeah, I think they're fighting for that final spot. I think Watertown's got a couple games in hand on them, so Elmira certainly needs to take care of their points and do what they got to do to get into the playoff. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure we're focusing on us. And it's kind of been a season where all year everybody's kind of looking at Danbury hockey and focusing on us. So let's continue to focus on us and see what happens here down the stretch.
How was practice this week following the 3-3?
It's been a great week of practice. We're going short, 45 minutes or so, but the guys are really. They love this time of year. It's been a grind all season. That's a group that loves being together, so they're really going to enjoy the moments that they get here. And, take care of business this weekend.
Isla, you watched practice today. How did it look?
Good. How was the power play? Good. Who scored some goals out there today? Dina Cola. Yeah, he did. He was getting to the net, right?
Well, Dina Cola has been all over the score sheet as of late, as have a bunch of other different players, especially last weekend. And you guys clinched a playoff spot. There was a little bit of questioning of whether you did, whether you didn't. You get with the win and then an Elmira loss. You guys did, in fact, get into the playoffs. You clinched a spot for the 3rd consecutive year, obviously coming off of the championship last year. How does it feel to check off one of those preseason boxes at this point in the season?
It's expected at this point. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of teams are putting out their social media and stuff like that, like they're in. But for us, it's just a necessary step. So it's good for our fans, good for the content, all that kind of stuff. But that's our expectation. We expect to be one of the last 2 teams standing and give ourselves an opportunity to win a championship every year. And so we're on our way there.
So you guys in the playoffs now. The push is still on. 7 points behind Motor City. Very reachable in terms of getting that home ice advantage, which would mean game 2 and 3 here in Danbury. What are some areas that you'd like to shore up on the ice before the playoffs start?
Continuing to just hammer on the details. So face-offs, I think we can be stronger on. Net front, late in periods, late in the game, I think we can do a better job of, being a little stronger, a little bit more physical. So, we're really, I'm really fortunate that we've got a group of guys in there that allows us to really work on the details, and we don't have to worry about, energy or compete level or being good teammates. Those guys, that's what they commit to every game, every day. So I'm in a pretty fortunate position as a coach here, and just kind of work on the details and iron out some things heading into the playoffs here.
We talk about playoffs, of course, fans and everyone around the league is going to remember what you guys did last year in the ring on your finger. And there was a bit of controversy over the weekend, some things boiling over, I just think, in Elmira after you guys took them down in both of those games in the home and home. And right after the final horn, you kind of referenced the ring, and of course, Dustin Jesso is on the other team. Kind of what happened there, and how do you kind of use it to motivate your squad moving forward and pushing for this playoff run and try to go back-to-back?
Listen, if we haven't learned that it's us against the world, I don't know if we're ever going to learn that. Thank you, Isla Rose. I remember after that game just walking off the ice, and there was a hard, message from the league on, no nonsense between the benches and things like that. And, it's unfortunate because when I stepped off the ice, if you watch the video, you got about 18 players that come right after me, and they're all chirping me about my suit and this, that, the other thing. And, I chose to just kiss my ring and walk off the ice. And, I guess we live in a day and age now where that is inciting or hurtful to somebody's feelings, maybe. I don't know. But listen, if you're not playing this game to compete, we're trying to sell tickets. We're trying to build a league here. And it was great to see some fans in the seats in Elmira. It's usually a pretty vacant building. And, if they want to survive and they want to be in this league for a number of years, they need fans in there. So I think, rivalries are good. I think tension on the ice is good. And certainly I have no problem controlling myself on the ice and in those situations. I think the league is worried about maybe some other people that don't know how to control themselves. But I'll take it on the chin there. We took the 9 points over the weekend. I'll pay my $500 and we'll keep moving on.
That's it. Just the pockets feel a little bit more empty. That's about it. But you guys come away with the 9 points. You're right on the tails of Motor City. And as the season has gone on, you've added some players. You've gotten back healthy. You're still missing a couple guys, some key cogs in the machine. But it seems like night in and night out, you have some lineup decisions to be made. This weekend, again, you're missing a couple of guys. They're dealing with injuries. Some are unavailable. But how has that been for you, where some guy might not have played poorly, he just doesn't have a spot? How do you balance some guy being out for too long, trying to mix and match and putting together the best lineup to win games?
It's a great question. It's probably the hardest part about my job right now is managing the roster and the energy levels and the mindsets and the emotions. And, but I got to give so much credit to the guys in that locker room because they just love each other. They're very selfless in there. And obviously they all want to play. They all want to be in those big moments, and certainly that's why we are where we are as a team. But they also understand that when push comes to shove, there's only a certain amount of guys that can go, and they got to be prepared for their next opportunity. If you look back last year at the playoffs, Kyle Gonzalez doesn't play in the first 2 rounds, then he has to be ready to go in the finals. So vice versa, right? Somebody was playing in Kyle's absence, and then once Kyle came back, now that person has to cheer on Gonzo and the march to the championship. So those are the expectations here. Like I said, I'm very fortunate because of the guys in the room, what they commit to.
Now you mentioned Gonzo. He had a couple of milestones, of course, came back on Friday, back in the lineup after about 4 months out, then played in this 100th FPHL game on over the weekend, and his birthday, of course, earlier on this week. What does he bring back to the lineup? Of course, he's been on the bench with you guys throughout the whole season, but him back on defense, playing with Xavier Abdella, seems like they were very comfortable in the game I watched on Friday and then on Saturday, Sunday together. What does he bring to the ice?
Leadership, right? He's calm with the puck. He's poised. He's always communicating. We ask our D to be dictators, and that's what Gonzo is. So, it's great to have him back in the lineup. He's still on the bench, so we still get that leadership and that voice there. And, his presence out there is invaluable.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about embracing the bad boy role as the season goes on and going into the playoffs, and you kind of hit the nail right on the head with that as we roll on. This weekend, Blue Ridge, first-year team. They've struggled as of late. They did just play yesterday on Wednesday, so they fell 6-2 to Carolina. They've struggled a little bit. There's still they're on the outside, and they need to win every game and have some help elsewhere. But what's kind of the scouting report on this Bobcats team? Most of the fans probably haven't watched much of their action, and this is the first time we're seeing them.
Yeah, I watched them last night against Carolina. They're a hard-working team. They've got some offense. They've got good goaltending. Again, they play their ice is a little smaller than normal, so we have to be ready to make plays and get pucks in deep and forecheck. But they can play. They have Joel Frazee that started here. He's now down there playing some really good hockey for them. Good hockey player, great young man. So. They're all over their lineup. We're going to have to go down there and do a job against a really hard-working team.
Have you ever played in an arena like theirs in sort of that big center where the ice is in the middle, but there's a lot of room on the outside? It's not a traditional hockey rink, and we'll see it firsthand this weekend, and I'm excited to see it. but have you ever played in an arena similar to that one?
Yeah, down south you see some of those types of venues more often than not. So I remember like we were in Louisiana playing in an old like rodeo barn. That was probably the craziest place I've ever played. So yeah, I mean we'll play them in the parking lot. We'll play them in the mountains. We're playing wherever we got to play them.
All right, final question. We'll fill in the blank. 2 games this weekend in Wytheville. Should be a fun trip. Long bus rides, but we got March Madness and a whole bunch of sports to help us out with. Actually, you know what? Before we get to the fill in the blank, I mean March Madness, right? We just discussed it. Your team's not in it, unfortunately. It was a tough year for you guys. Head coach is gone. But I guess you can't win them all, right? I mean, you already won the national championship in football. You can't be good at everything, right?
No,
you can try to be, but you can't always be. So if you had to pick a team to win it all this year in the NCAA men's basketball tournament, who are you going with?
I am not a basketball guy, so I'm gonna give you an answer, and I'm gonna hope they're in the tournament.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Duke.
Duke is in the tournament, yes.
They gotta be. They've
yes.
gotta be, right?
They're a little bit under the radar right now because they're dealing with some inconsistent play.
Okay.
ACC is a little weak this year.
Okay.
Shout out to Syracuse. Couldn't even make the tournament for me. Just terrible. Just terrible. But Duke is in the tournament. They can always make a run. I mean,
What about Providence? Is Providence?
Providence, I do not believe is in the
Didn't get
tournament.
in?
No, they did not. Only 3 teams from the Big East got into the tournament.
Okay.
Which is shocking. Many thought 5 or 6 would get in, but
Yeah.
UConn is one of them, and that's
There you
the
go.
team that I've got to go back to back. But
That's our
who
horse.
knows, right? It hasn't happened since Florida did it in the 2006-7, I believe, is the time that they did it. So we'll see if there's a back-to-back champion. Fill in the blank. You guys come away with 2 wins. You're feeling good, and you close out the 4-game road trip. If you guys,
if we can win the specialty teams battle, and if we can put pressure on their D, be the more physical team while also being, disciplined and playing Danbury hockey.
well, you guys have scored a bunch of power play goals as of late, dating all the way back to the middle of February series in Watertown. As for Blue Ridge, they are last in the league on the power play. All right, 2 games coming up against the Bobcats this weekend. We're going to hop on the bus and go head down there, but enjoy the basketball, and we'll have the coverage for you on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network on Friday and Saturday night. As always, we thank head coach Billy McCreary for sitting down with us for this week's Catching Up with McCreary, and thank you to Isla, who almost lasted the full 15-minute interview. She almost did, but she went wandering for something a little maybe more exciting. I don't know, but Billy mentioned to me maybe adding a kiss counter to the interviews that Isla is present for. Surprised he could keep his composure and he's not distracted with Isla running around, jumping all over him, but he's a professional. What else would you expect from head coach Billy McCreary? 4 minutes until the 3rd period. 1 more break, and then we've got the final 20 of regulation right here on the Hat-Trick Digital Network.
back in Wytheville, Virginia. Here we go. Third period, Hat-Tricks and Bobcats. Second game of the weekend set. The only two games between the two sides in the regular season. And the first ever matchups between the two squads. Bobcats in their inaugural season, 5th in the Continental. Pretty much out of playoff contention. Hat-Tricks vying for the second spot in the Empire Division, just 5 points behind Motor City for second place in the division. So we left the second period wondering what the penalties would be. Well, they handed Stephen Thorne an unsportsmanlike conduct and an inciting an opponent. One a 2-minute minor, the other a misconduct. LaBelle and Newberg each get minors and a major. Instigator for Newberg, unsportsmanlike conduct for LaBelle. So with that, the Hat-Tricks head to the power play. Danbury was 2 for 4 last night on the man advantage. They have yet to score tonight on the power play. Have goals in 13 of the last 15 games on the man advantage. Danbury trailed 1-0 after 1. Scored 3 unanswered in the second. Davis, Ratcliffe, and Berry. And hold a 2-goal lead as we press play on the final 20 minutes of regulation. The Hat-Tricks to the power play, top unit on. Ratcliffe, Cunningham, Ruiz, McKittrick, and Berry. Cunningham wanders up the near side. Low left, Berry looking for a lane. Cunningham, it's swatted out to the blue line, glove down by Ratcliffe. McKittrick, return for Ratcliffe. Ruiz cycling behind him. He gets the puck. McKittrick looking for a lane, back Ruiz. Slap pass for Ratcliffe in front of him. 30 seconds gone in the third. Ruiz down low, centering pass. Cunningham scores! Tic-tac-toe and a power play goal. 40 seconds into the third, and the Hat-Tricks extend the lead to 3. Make it power play goals in 14 of the last 16. 26 during that span. 4 unanswered goals for the Hat-Tricks. And Danbury is pulling away. Perfect passing, high to low into the slot. And Cunningham doesn't miss many of those. Cunningham with his 6th power play goal of the season, 20th overall. Had an assist in last night's 2-1 overtime win. Points in 6 of the last 7 for Cunningham. 9 during that span and 5 goals. Gonzalez joins the play. Up the right side, Rister. Steered away by Leskewitz. Lofted by Berry, glove down DiNicola. Return for Berry, has 2 points tonight. Cross slot feed off a skate. Ratcliffe scoops it up in the far corner. To the back, Pamelaine. Rister purposefully wide. Berry corrals, curls, drops off Ratcliffe. Centering pass, Pamelaine at the left point. Straddles the line, hands off, Rister, gloved by Leskewitz. And he holds on, 1:45 in to the third period. The Hat-Tricks have pushed in front by 3. Cunningham from Berry and Ruiz, 41 seconds in. Berry with the Hat-Tricks' 3rd goal and an assist on Cunningham's goal. They've made a correction to the scoring of Danbury's first goal. Davis at 5'11". The assist was initially given to Colby Johnson. It has now been credited to Nick DiNicola, who made the stretch pass to Davis. leading him on a breakaway. Turnover in the corner. Pass to the middle. Woolley! One-timer. And a pad save by Owen Leskewitz. Puck is picked free. A shot deflected out of play. Face off. In deep. Ivashkin lifted the stick. Pass to the middle. Off the blade of McHugh. McHugh, number 24, throws it to the middle. A whistle as Martin had his stick tied up and the net is off the pegs. Face off to the right of Connor McCullum, who has 20 saves on 21 shots. They delay the puck drop. Martin and Ruiz for the face-off. Puck trickles out to center. It's slung back in by Delcart. And Henning lofts it ahead. McKittrick fumbled it, but did just enough to force the Bobcats to regroup in their zone. Danbury in front by 3. 3 minutes off the clock, third period. Danbury trying to escape with 5 of a possible 6 points this weekend against the Bobcats. Cunningham with the most recent goal. Veers inside, Cunningham around the net, wraparound, scores! What a beauty from Corey Cunningham. Back-to-back goals to start the third. And the Hat-Tricks are running away with it. 5-1. Corey Cunningham with a dazzling goal. Tried the near side, wheeled it around the far side, and tucked it past the pad of Leskewitz. Now the Hat-Tricks have rattled off 5 straight goals. 3 in the second, 2 early here in the third. Now this is more familiar to the Hat-Tricks offense that we have been accustomed to seeing, especially during the most recent stretch. Hat-Tricks have
17, Corey Cunningham, assisted by
wins in 11 of the last 14 games, 3 wins in a row. And in 10 of the 11 wins, as McCullum holds on, 10 of the 11 wins, the Hat-Tricks have scored 3 or more goals in all of those games. The only outlier was last night, the 2-1 overtime winner against the Bobcats in the inaugural meeting between the two teams. Off the face-off, it's scooped off the glass near side. Chipped ahead. Berry took a tumble. Davis wrist shot, airmailed it. It wheels around. Scooped up by Daly. Woolley up the left wing. Cuts inside, backhander. Fought off by Leskewitz. And he's got it in his glove. Final game of a 4-game road trip for the Hat-Tricks back home on Friday the 29th against Watertown. And what a way to close it out. A lethargic win last night. Took them 56 minutes to score a goal. Then they won it early in overtime. And even the first period tonight, we had a delay for a glass repair that delayed the final 4 minutes of the first period. Bobcats scored with 15 seconds remaining in the opening period. And then the Hat-Tricks took control with 5 straight. A penalty called. A referee from behind the play calls the Hat-Tricks for a trip. Vlasov was deking his way through, and they get Johnson for a penalty. So the Bobcats trailing by 4. And on the verge of being put away. Head to the man advantage has not been a strength for Blue Ridge this year. They're dead last in the league on the power play. Now around 9% on the season. They were 0 for 3 yesterday.
Danbury penalty, assistant number 81, Cody Johnson.
Andrioli, point shot. Waffled aside by McCullum. Now the Hat-Tricks clear it. Bowan's pass to the far side. Picked up by Vlasov. Low left, 5 on 4. 1:25 remaining on the power play. Vlasov up top. Bowan shoots. Kicked out by McCullum. Gonzalez paired with Henning on this kill. Falanga and Berry up top. Gonzalez fell to the ice. Pass to the point through Bowan. Vlasov slammed his stick in frustration. And the Bobcats have to reset. The Skewits up the far boards. Charging ahead, a wrist shot. Deflected into the netting. Newberg with a head full of steam.
Period, media timeout.
The Hat-Tricks deflected out of play. And we have hit the first media timeout of period 3. Hat-Tricks with 2 quick goals in the third have a 5-1 lead right here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Hope Plumbing offers a full range of commercial and residential services. Their team can assist you in all aspects of any plumbing-related needs you have. You have hope with Hope Plumbing.
Kellogg Hardwood Lumber, located in Bethel, has the hardwoods for any project. They are a kiln-dried hardwood lumber yard and manufacturing facility carrying the highest quality hardwoods available. Flooring, moldings, cabinets, furniture, or whatever you are building, they have the kiln-dried hardwoods you need.
Since 1881, Omaha Beef Company has been supplying the Danbury community with meat and beef. Located on Maple Avenue, they are now the featured product in the Danbury Ice Arena. When you say Omaha Beef Company, you mean top of the line.
Bold Move Logistics is a family-owned and operated delivery service provider exclusively for Amazon. As a team, they deliver packages the last mile to your doorstep. Check them out on the concourse level at the Danbury Arena and inquire about joining their team.
Back inside the Apex Center with Phil, Virginia. Doug Latuca with you on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Danbury in control, up 4. We've played about 5.5 in this third period. Bobcats are on the power play for the next 47 seconds. Puck is dropped. Frazee to the point, Norwinski. Quick passing over the blade of Ivashkin. To the right point, Norwinski. Chugs middle, wrist shot, deflected behind the net. McHugh got there first, and the Hat-Tricks skip it all the way down. Johnson in the penalty box for tripping. And his Hat-Tricks debut has made quite the impression. Has an assist tonight. A whistle. Also another note on that Cunningham goal. The wraparound beauty at 3:15 of the period. Another assist for goaltender Connor McCullum. His 6th of the season. That's a goalie with 6 assists. It's his 36th start of the season. He's made starts in 12 of the last 17 games. With his last one, a 36 save effort in Watertown on Sunday. A debate on where the faceoff should be. There's a patch of rough ice in front of the Hat-Tricks bench, and now they're ready for the faceoff at the far dot. The last 6 seconds of the Bobcats power play. Puck is slapped in, and it hit the official. Oh, the linesman is down. And he is in a heap of pain. He took a slap shot right off the leg. Oof. Linesman is back to his skates. He appears to be okay. With Phil, now officially 0 for 5 on the power play tonight. And 0 for 9 this weekend. Their woes continue on the power play. It's 5-1 Hat-Tricks. 3 goals in the second, 2 early in the third period. After Danbury had fallen behind with 15 seconds remaining in the first period. Hat-Tricks ice the puck. Around the league, Columbus and Motor City are in a battle. Last check, the River Dragons led the Rockers 8-5. And I believe that game is final. 8-5 Columbus has taken down Motor City. So if the Hat-Tricks hold on here tonight, Danbury will crawl within 2 points of Motor City for the second spot in the Empire Division. Hat-Tricks do not play tomorrow. Columbus does. Or rather, Motor City does. They play Columbus in Georgia. Another stoppage off the faceoff. Second time they've blown it dead. Spits back for Ivanov. Tetro angles it off the boards for McKittrick. Takes his shoulder. Hands off for Johnson. Throws to the middle through the legs of McKittrick. And into the offensive zone. It's Vlasov, wrist shot. Tracked down by McCullum. Both teams make changes ahead of the defensive zone face-off to the right of McCullum. Shots are 30 to 25 in favor of the Hat-Tricks. Scoreboard has not updated. Woolley charging after a rolling puck. In a battle in the near corner, Falanga supports. He's pressed up along the boards by Ernest. Digging for it. Delcart. Woolley joins the pile. It's Newberg who handed off. Ivashkin hemmed in his own zone, lost it to Falanga. Falanga up top, Pamelayan shot blocked. Bobcats nearly led the break, but Pamelayan stole it away and wristed it in deep. Ivashkin moves in, shoots off the shoulder of McCullum. Drop pass, Daly. Fending off a check from Henning. Puck is pitchforked in deep by Ernest. Whacked forward, DiNicola. Up ahead for Ratcliffe. 2-on-2 into the zone. Ratcliffe for Berry. Rister wide of the goal. Might have been deflected. Bobcats the other way. Daly dips the shoulder. Backhand sauce wide. At the left point. High to low, Gonzalez corrals for the hat trick. Stinacola swats off the boards, kept in. Norwinski's wrister. Flexed out by McCullum. Norwinski starts things up. Hat-trick's in the middle of a change. Puck too far in front of Frazee, and an icing on the Bobcats. And both Newberg and LaBelle out of the box. The fighting and the Miners, they have been released. Those all occurring at 20 minutes of the second period after the final horn had sounded. So Danbury gets back at 6-6 D-man. Offensive zone face-off, Pamelayan. McKittrick one-time shot, blocked in the slot. Out the other way, it's Andrioli. Sliding inside, Norwinski took a spill, but kept in at the left point. Andrioli shielding. McKittrick stole it, could not clear. Filtered down low. Pamelayan touches for Tetro, takes a hit in the process. Johnson centering pass. Taken in by Ruiz. Here's McKittrick. And the play is offsides. Wow, the hat-tricks had a 2 or 3 on 0, and McKittrick was a step ahead of the play. Face off all the way back in front of the hat-tricks bench. Bobcats gain the line. Falanga appear to have been hooked. Nothing called. Tattern battling. Winning it is Bedard. Kisses it off the glass. Cunningham in stride. Right down Main Street. Peels off left side. Back pass. Deflected. Bobcats the other way. Up the right wing. McHugh dropping. The shot went wide from Vlasov. Bouncing puck. Trickles out of the zone. We've hit the midway point, third period. Hat-tricks in the driver's seat, up by 4. Puck ramped in, off the stick of McHugh, chasing after Bedard. LaBelle, headbands for Woolley. A drop pass intercepted. In the offensive zone, Ivashkin on Dinacola, left the puck behind. And Berry churns the legs, slips past the check, dumps it in. Norwinski. Puck taken away, and it glides into the glove of the Stewarts. And we are at the mid-period media timeout. Hat-tricks 5, Bobcats 1. We'll be back after a short break on the Hat-tricks Digital Network.
Charter Oak Brewing Company is a Connecticut-based brewery featuring handcrafted and innovative beers such as pale ales, lagers, India pale ales, brown ales, sours, and several seasonal, more robust beers. Pick one up at the Rabbit Hole.
Danbury-based Chipman, Mizuko, and Emerson is your partner for the road ahead. They provide comprehensive legal guidance for individuals, families, and businesses. CME, let the pros handle your needs.
Domino's, the official pizza of the Danbury Hat-tricks. Thin crust, pepperoni, sausage, you name the topping, and they got it. Domino's, they deliver.
Partner with Fastenal to simplify and secure your supply chain needs. They handle a vast range of industrial products, and if you want it, they can get it. The core belief is in the people at Fastenal. They empower their teams to do great things for yours.
Grounds Donut House is the featured donut of the Danbury Ice Arena. Stop by the main stand and grab yourself one of today's featured donuts. As good as it gets. Donut, miss out.
Doug Latuca with you. Final 9:29 of regulation. And the Hat-tricks in firm control, up 5-1 thanks to 5 unanswered goals. 2 in the second, rather 3 in the second, 2 here in the first. Here in the third, my goodness. What a long night it has been. At the glass repair delay, 16 minutes into the first period. And the Hat-Tricks woke up. Once period 2 started, Davis, Ratcliffe, and Berry getting on the board in the middle frame, and Cunningham with 2 goals early here in the third period has made it 5-1. Berry wheeling around the net, shielding the puck, pass in front, all the way through and out of the zone. Henning, 39-year-old defenseman. Headband for Davis, swats it in. Pressure off the bench, Gonzalez gave it away. Bobcats have to touch up, would have been offsides. Daly pressures Tetro. Davis through center, lost the handle. Daly, pass inside Andrioli, backhand flutter. And a save by McCullum. And a stoppage. Shots on the live stats read 30-24. On the big board, it's 28-28. Either way, McCullum has been steady. Cunningham rainbows it through center. It's gloved down by Ford. Clanked off the glass. And given away. Here's a wrist shot, goes wide. Rebound! Kicked out by McCullum. Shot from the back. Banged off the back glass. Andrioli tried to stuff it in deep. Cunningham dancing with it at the blue line. A Falanga with the support. And he'll chip it as far as the blue line where it's pinballed around at center. Final game of the weekend for the Hat-Tricks. Vlasov pulls it, cuts to the forehand, shoots wide. Ernest in the corner, gave it away. 3-on-1 for the Hat-Tricks. McKittrick charging right side, drops for Johnson. Pass inside through Woolley. Hat-Tricks hoping the time just ticks off with a 4-goal advantage. And then about a 12-hour bus ride coming up after this game. 3 points would help ease that trip. Point shot blocked by Johnson. Stood right in front of it. He chases after it. It's bullied in by the Bobcats. Shoving in the corner. Pamelayan leads the break, DiNicola. Through the middle, it's Berry. Steps over the blue line, Hat-Tricks offsides. Davis ahead of the play. 6:30 left. In regulation, Hat-Tricks 5 and the Bobcats 1. Hat-Tricks can extend their winning streak to 4. Rather, they have extended their winning streak to 4, looking to make it 5. Battle forward in the Hat-Tricks defensive zone. Ruiz skated past the puck. Norwinski chips it in. Johnson, backhand flutter for Ruiz for Ratcliffe. One-timer over the net. And it skitters out to center. And LaBelle pounds it off a Bobcat stick over the protective netting and out of play. We're approaching the final media timeout of this third period. So the Hat-Tricks trying to make it 5 wins in a row. And victories in 12 of the last 15 games. And also keep with the trend of scoring 3+ goals. It would mark 11 of the 12 wins. The Hat-Tricks have surpassed 3+ goals. Woolley into the zone. Give and go. Woolley shoots. Saved by Leskewitz. Didn't know where it was. The Bobcats charge the other way. Into the zone, it's Daly. Halted along the boards. Puck spits to the left point. Shot deflected wide by Frazee, who was flashing in front of McCullum. Both teams make changes. The last 5:06. Face off at the right circle. Tattern and Berry. Bobcats win it. Loose puck near side, out to the point. Bowen shoots, bouncing puck over the goal. Cullum almost stopped that with his mask. It never reached the mask. Icing waved off. Ford crashes into the boards with Davis. Pries the puck free. And Bowen behind the net. Pressured somewhat by Berry, who backs off. Tattern flips it in. Ivashkin in stride, cuts in front, and he scores! Nikita Ivashkin using his frame. A power forward goal. Went from the backhand, stuffed it in on the far side of the forehand. The Bobcats cut into the Hat-Tricks lead. It's now 5-2. Another point for Ivashkin against the Hat-Tricks. It is his 17th in 15 games against the Hat-Tricks this season. 13 of them with Binghamton. Was acquired mid-season. Puck is gloved by Leskewitz. And we've hit the media timeout. For Ivashkin, it's technically his team-high 26th goal. Has not been with the Bobcats all season. But technically, with the cumulative stats, he leads the way. Final media timeout. Hat-Tricks in front by 3. The final 4:15 when we come back on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Tixer is the official ticketing partner of the Danbury Hat-Tricks and Danbury Ice Arena. Log on and get your seats today. Great service and easy to use.
Tri-State Legacy Group is an insurance group that focuses on putting your family needs first. Consult with them today and set your plan for the future. They care about people over products. It's that simple.
Twister's Ice Cream Cafe. Located in New Fairfield, Twister's features 32 different flavors of ice cream. This season, they are stationed in the Danbury Ice Arena. Stop by and visit their stand. Get sprinkled.
New Haven Nighthawk Brewing. Brewed right here in Connecticut and featured at the Rabbit Hole. New Haven Night Brewing Company is the beverage of choice at the Danbury Arena. Grab a cold one and party like you're in the Elm City.
The last of the third period. 4:15 the reading. Danbury 5, Wytheville 2. Doug Latuca back with you inside the Apex Center in Wytheville, Virginia. Hat-Tricks on their way to a 5-point weekend. 2-1 winners in overtime last night. In control up 3 with 4:15 remaining in regulation. Hat-Tricks trailed 1-0 entering the second period. Scored 5 straight goals until Nikita Ivashkin got Blue Ridge back in the score column. Josh Newberg and Matthew Ernest with the assists. At 15:33 gives the Bobcats an ounce of life here and a chance to crawl closer. Point shot. McCullough makes the save. LaBelle lifts it through center. And Ernest, pressured by Johnson, forced back in his own zone. Falanga intercepts at center ice. Andrioli had him tied up. Bedard snaps it in. Approaching 3 minutes to go. Banked up the boards. It's an icing on Blue Ridge. After tonight, the Hat-Tricks with just 6 games remaining, all of them in division. Apologies, 5 games remaining for the Hat-Tricks. The rest of the way, all of them are in division. Watertown once, Binghamton twice on the road, and then Elmira and Binghamton at home to wrap it up. Final game of the regular season is April 12th in Danbury. It's a Friday night, and the postseason likely starting the following weekend. Into the zone, it's Daly. Curling in the corner. LaBelle stole the puck away. Bobcats keep at the right point. LaBelle's second effort out to center ice. Ratcliffe, sauce for Cunningham, who has 2 goals tonight. Cunningham swirls in the corner, looking for a lane. Passes off for Gonzalez. Shoves it in deep. Berry for Tetro, winds. Fanned on the one-timer. Puck in the skates of a couple Bobcats. Ford the closest. Davis charging after it. Forces the turnover. Woolley backhander save. Rebound, Davis stuffing. It's behind the net. Davis to the back. Gonzalez. Wrist shot. Stopped in the slot. Cunningham. Crunched in the slot. Swatted in deep, 1:30 on the clock. Gonzalez keeps the line. Bobcats escape it. Both teams making changes. In the last minute 20 before this game goes final, Hat-Tricks will get 5 points out of a possible 6 this weekend. Won in overtime last night. Regulation victory tonight. Here's Johnson. Wrist shot. Off the left pillow of Liskowitz. From left to right, the Bobcats. Fans starting to depart. A shot from the right side. Rolls wide. To the back. A wrister. Into the breadbasket of McCullum. Under 40 seconds to go. Hat-Tricks with a dominant second and third period. Grabbed this game when it was up for grabs. Bobcats in the near corner to the right point. Bowen to the left side. Wrist shot. Wide off the end boards. Ratcliffe angles it off the boards. 20 seconds left. Bedard. Ahead for Ratcliffe. There's Davis, has a goal tonight. Started the scoring for Danbury back in the second. Took a check, made a play. Last 5 seconds. And the Hat-Tricks sweep the weekend set in Wytheville. They take 5 of a possible 6 points, dominate the second and third period, at one point scoring 5 unanswered goals. So pull away and take it 5-2. Davis, Ratcliffe, Berry, and Cunningham twice with the hat-tricks goals. And Cunningham with 2 goals in a 3-minute and 15-second span to start the third period. Gave the hat-tricks a cushion. And Blue Ridge never sniffed a comeback after that. A game that saw a delay to end the first period due to glass repair. We came back for the final 4 minutes of the first period. Played the 4 minutes. Bobcats scored first, and then the hat-tricks took over. Ratcliffe, Berry, and Cunningham, the stars of the game, from 3-1 in that order. And it makes sense. Ratcliffe tonight with a goal and an assist. Berry with a goal and an assist. And Cunningham with 2 goals. So the hat-tricks enjoy their trip to Virginia. They have now pulled within 2 points of the Motor City Rockers for second place in the Empire Division. Things are heating up, and it might come down to the wire. The Rockers do play tomorrow in Columbus against the first place River Dragons. They've lost the first 2 games of the weekend series. Hat-tricks hoping for another regulation loss, and then Danbury in action only one time next weekend. It's Friday in Danbury against Watertown, 7:30 puck drop. Grab your tickets at danburyhattricks.com. Also, you can secure your playoff ticket packages now. Email Herm Sorcher, herm@danburyhattricks.com. A slew of promotions on Friday. See if you qualify for any of the promotions. If not, should be a packed crowd. The third to last home game of the season for the hat-tricks. That's how they wrap up the month of March. A month in which the hat-tricks have 5 regulation wins. They have 8 wins overall in this month. And just 1 regulation loss for Danbury in March. The Rabbits are hot, feeling good before the playoffs. They take down the Blue Ridge Bobcats in the second ever game between the two teams. 5-2 the final score, thanks to 5 unanswered goals in the second and third periods. Well, that just about does it for us here in Wytheville, Virginia. We're going to hop on the bus for about 12 hours back to Danbury. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, we will talk again on Friday night, 7:30 puck drop, hat-tricks and Wolves from Danbury. One last time, hat-tricks 5, Bobcats 2. For everyone helping out behind the scenes, I'm Doug Latuca, saying have a great rest of your night, hat-tricks fans. Danbury takes 5 of 6 points in Virginia.